I truly do believe that we are all here for a reason. And I truly do believe that, and let me backtrack a little because for the longest time, I was not a big fan of the idea of fate. I was not a fan of the idea that everything happens for a reason because then that to me takes control away from me. Because in my head, the idea is that if that's supposed to happen, then what's the purpose of me doing anything if that's going to happen anyways? But at the same time, I also have to realize that there's something already ahead of me, but it's up to me to drive and to push myself to that situation because nobody else is going to take me to that spot but myself, and I have to use my elements that are around me to get to that point. So there are pathways in our lives that are already there for us, but it's up to us to go and get to that point. The whole idea of Jesus take the wheel thing, right? There's still something has to be driving that force. We're not just going to get to our destination. So with the idea of all working together and all realizing that it is okay to ask for help, when we speak about the aspect of mental health, if I put myself in a vulnerable situation at the time, like I said before, going into the idea of how we grew up, we don't speak about our illnesses, we don't speak about what's hurting us, we don't speak about any of that. We hold a lot of that stuff in, and then what ends up happening is that we explode at a certain time, and when it does happen, I don't know, everybody's different, but the worst thing that you can ever do is explode and other people get hurt because of it. We get to learn that the more you hold resentment, the more you're hurting yourself and you're hurting your loved ones, and paying attention to the idea that a lot of stuff honestly doesn't really matter in the long run. We're holding on to something that doesn't mean anything, whether it's a hatred towards somebody, or yeah, I don't know. That's just, so the only reason why I want to speak about that is because something that I'm currently going through at the time, and a lot of this stuff sometimes is therapeutic to me because as I'm speaking about these things out loud, the result comes into me, the idea or the resolution gets sorted out. But that's another topic for another day. We want to talk about, for instance, the whole thing of empowerment, which there was something in the video that I really enjoyed, and there was that point where Jose was in front of that mirror, and I can't tell you how many times I've done that, where in the mornings and even now when I wake up and I have to tell myself, like, man, this is tough, right? This is hard. Life is hard. Everything is hard. I just want to give up. I could just give in. I could just succumb to all the temptation, but I also realized though that I've done that before. I've been down that road before, and this self-empowerment of learning from my past experiences, because I have lived through so many, and I've done a lot of stupid stuff, and I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. But because I've experienced it already, I already know that if I encounter that situation one more time, I already know where that path is going to lead me, right? So then I opt to take a different route. Life is weird because sometimes we're expected to experience it as if we've already lived it, and it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. But I can't tell you, based off of that film that we just watched, man, like how many times the champagne, right? Yeah. I've been in that situation too where I needed to get my fix, and I remember going into the pond, not the ponds, like the water fountains where the people throw coins, and just getting all the coins that were in there because I wanted to go get a little... That's some booze, right? Yeah, I would go get the coins. Yeah. Or finding, like going to your family's purse or whatever and grabbing a couple bucks because you wanted to go get your fix. But I also know now that I don't need that anymore because I've lived through it, I've experienced it, I know what that leads to it. So I had to create a self-empowerment to myself that I don't need that anymore, and I don't have to live that way anymore. through my life, I've gained so much from my years, traveling and living the life that I did. But at the same time, living the life that I did, I lost all of it. That self-empowerment comes back now on a sober, clean mindset. I'm confident enough that I can gain it all back, but I'm also humble enough that I know that at any given time I can lose it, right? Because all it takes is taking that one sip again, going and finding the guy, and then getting that little powder, and I'm out. I lose everything that I've been building. So that self-empowerment of my past mistakes is what leads me to be stronger now, because I already know what that road is going to take me to. So it's not worth it. I also know, too, that the idea of self-empowerment is because for so many years during my addiction, I saw my mom cry. I saw my parents cry. I saw my mom pick me up from the drunk tank. My dad going to the detox center, picking me up. And that feeling of them just looking at me with this.
The whole concept that I have, right, is the reason why I started the company. I showed you the first video. It was the dedication that I took from when I was incarcerated. I sat so long planning out, move by move, thought by thought, what it's going to take to be there. What is it, most importantly, how to live a drug-free, criminal-free lifestyle. I really had to rearrange my way of thinking. That's why it says renewing of the mind. The battlefield is really in the mind. Visualization comes from an obsession. When Jesus said about obsessing over something, have you ever witnessed that, like the NBA players that make it to the NBA are people that are playing with basketball from their diapers, and they never leave that basketball goal, and those are the people that get to play obsession. The obsession of a ball, the obsession that I don't know what else to wake up except to do what I'm doing here today. And as we look to here, this room is pretty empty. But believe me, by the 5-city tour that I do, I'm going to materialize these rooms like this full. Also, how Jesus has done his wrestling. That little by little, you start putting the pieces of puzzle. Take one block, you build a wall. It doesn't happen in one day. I've been doing this 6 years since I've been back home. And today, I can say that I provide for myself. I provide for a lot of other people in our community, an opportunity that I really wouldn't even be thinking I'm doing the things that I'm doing today if I was still in my active life in the Matrix. Why do I say in the Matrix? Because it's an artificial world before you're here. If you're not up to hip to what's going on with our diets, our food, they want to take away your health from mentally being able to operate full function, full harmony in the vibration that you need to operate to be. See, the first thing I do with a lot of these addicts that I deal with, including myself, was to have to see myself living a life without the use of drugs and what that would consist of. And believe me, I wouldn't think that I was going to be doing this 6 years ago. And today I'd rather be doing this than looking for a bag of crack. I'd rather be doing this than selling poison to my people that I care about so much. That's why I give people with the opportunity that most likely they'll look the other way. And out of so many powerful people that I invited here today, I'm appreciative of the ones that did show up. Because the ones that did show up are the ones that count. A lot of people don't want to let another man fly. They're afraid to let another man fly to help another man's dream. That's why they say a lot of the visualization to keep it to yourself until you start materializing. But see, little do they know that each brick, there's funders and there's people that are helping me to be able to bring this message, whether it's one, like Jesus says, or 10, or 20, or 5,000 in a room. You know what I'm saying? The way I can't make this stuff up. I can't make this happen. I couldn't pay the bill here. I could barely pay my bill at home. I would be able to accommodate you guys today to dinner, which is also included in your tickets today. I just got a hit. Freeway is about 10 minutes away, and he's going to be here sharing also his story. A very documented man in the 80s, 90s. As you guys know, he was actually part of the crack epidemic in the United States. At one time, he was a very powerful man, as the underworld would say. But something happened when he went into state penitentiary also. He said while he's waiting to appeal his case, every interview that I see with Joe Rogan, when I have met, Mr. Ross before, which I have spent time with him before, and we have talked, and with the time that he spent in the penitentiary helping, and also using the law of attraction and helping others to see, we gain nothing by keeping it. We have to give this message away in order to fulfill. So that's why we do this time. That's why Jesus takes time to be able to come all across the country. He's traveling now with his business, and to take time to be able to come and still share the word and still give a message. And like you said, one at a time, one person at a time builds a structure. And here at Fame, this is my son that's going to be next. We have a quick verse before Rick starts making it through the door. And this verse is called Vision on It. Quick 1, 2. This is Gabriel and I.
Hey, what? Yeah. Vision on it. So I gotta go, we can get up on it. Vision on it.
Glad to be here. Wow, life is amazing. You know, you never know where you're gonna end up in this life that we live in. You know, you can start to the far right and you wind up left. For me, I never thought when I was growing up that I would be able to do some of the things that I'm doing right now. And one of the things that I found out about us is that we have to give ourselves a chance. You know, a lot of times in life, we never give ourselves a chance to be the person that we could be if we only gave ourselves an opportunity. And so what I do now is I try to analyze every situation that comes my way. I also constantly evaluate myself to find out what it is that I'm capable of, what it is that I want to do, and the things that I don't want to do. Because in life, if you don't evaluate yourself, there's really nobody else that can evaluate you. Other people can look at you, they can base an opinion, but you're the one that's with yourself every single day. You know exactly what you do, you know when you do it, and you should know why you're doing it. Sometimes, though, in life, we do things that we don't even know why we're doing it. Wow. I just believe that we have to keep trying to elevate, keep trying to be the best person that we can. You know, they say there's no such thing as perfect. But I believe we should be in the pursuit of perfection every single day of our life. And I have a saying that I tell people that the world is just the way it's supposed to be, and the only thing that I see in the world is out of place is myself. And it's my job to put myself in rotation with the rest of the world. And I constantly work on that every single day that I'm living, to put myself in rotation with the rest of the world, because they say once you put yourself in rotation, then the whole universe will become to your assistance so that you can accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. I've been out of prison now 15 years. And I won't say the prison broke me, because it didn't. There was days that I was in prison that I had fun. There was days that I was in prison I was sad. But But what I did is I changed my own mind. I made my own mind up that prison was not a place that I wanted to be. That I was more valuable out here on the street. That I could touch more people's lives and I could do more good out here than I could do in prison. And for that reason, I made my mind up that I was never going to go back. In order to do that, I know that I can't do the things that I used to do to send me to prison. So I stay away from those, and I find things that, because I like money. I don't know why. I don't spend it. I just like to make it. So what I had to do is I had to look for things that give me the opportunity to make a lot of money. And I'm constantly in pursuit of those avenues. Avenues that not gonna send me to prison, not gonna get me killed. Well, I should say not gonna get me killed first, because that's the most important thing. I'd rather be in prison than dead. Because if you're in prison, you still got a chance. You know, once you're dead, it's over with. And we don't know what's up in the sky yet. Nobody come back and tell us what's up there. So I don't want to go there either. You know, I'm having a lot of fun right here on earth right now. And I want to continue to enjoy this as long as I can. You know, I tell my mom that I'd like to live forever. And she said, boy, ain't nobody going to live forever. I said, well, Mom, let me live as long as I can. And for that, I practice things that keep me alive. I try to stay away from foods that are not healthy for me. I've been vegan for 33 years. I don't do salt. I don't do sugar. I don't drink sodas.